Hey everyone, welcome back to Conejo Valley Visionaries. I'm your host, Cristina Dennstedt. I've been thinking a lot lately about how the best ideas, whether it's a business or something like a club, usually start from a real personal need. And that's exactly what happened with Carly and Zack, today's guests. Carly was training for a marathon. She was newer to running, and like a lot of people, she was doing it alone. She had experienced a run club out in Ventura and realized there wasn't really anything like that here in the Conejo Valley. So instead of waiting for it to exist, she created it on her own. What started as just wanting people to run with has turned into something much bigger. Over the past couple of years, Conejo Valley Run Club has grown into a real community, one that motivates people not just to show up, but to push themselves, set goals, and actually enjoy the process. I've joined for a couple runs myself, and what stood out to me right away is how intentional they are about making people feel welcome. Carly goes out of her way to introduce herself to new faces, and you can feel that people aren't just there to run, they're there to connect. So I wanted to sit down with Carly and Zack and understand why they started the club, how they built it to what it is today, and what their vision is for the Conejo Valley Run Club. I hope you enjoy. If you enjoy this episode and find value in the podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and rating. This helps more people find the podcast, and therefore each story can reach more folks in the Conejo Valley. Hey, Carly. Hey, Zack. Welcome to Conejo Valley Visionaries.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course. I am so excited. You two are the founders of the Conejo Valley Run Club. And I discovered the Run Club through an ad, I think at one point, like a social media ad back in the day, or some kind of social media post, I guess not an ad, but a social media post, and started running with you guys. And it was such a joyful return to running for me. And the community that you had already created at that point, this is almost 2 years ago, was really impressive. And to see what you've done ever since, I had to have you on the podcast to hear how you got here, why you're doing it. So thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
As we like to do on the podcast, though, is go back to the beginning. So can each of you share what you wanted to be when you grew up, when you were a kid?
Zack, you start.
Oh, I start. Okay. I think when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a firefighter, actually, for a long time. That was like the goal in life, and I went a different path, but yeah, I always wanted to help people. I always wanted to be there for people on their worst day. So that's what I always enjoyed, and went a different path, but yeah.
Okay.
Love it. I was always in the creative realm. So at one point, I thought I was going to move to New York and get into fashion or some type of art design school. And then I kind of moved into the community aspect. I got my degree in intercultural studies and theology. And so I was really involved in community. So I kind of blended the two, I guess.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so you both have this already idea of maybe being part of something bigger than yourselves, or helping others in your area. Did you grow up out here in the Conejo Valley?
Yeah, we both did. I grew up, went to Redwood Middle School and then Thousand Oaks High School. And my whole family's out here, and then same with Zack.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I think we grew up like a mile away from each other. I went to Westlake High School. I went to Los Cerritos Middle School. But yeah, we were very close to each other growing up.
And did you know each other back then?
We did. Not close friends, but he did Titans football and I did Titans cheer in middle school. And then we met at teen center dances when we were younger. Knew his twin brother and mutual friends. And then we, kind of knew each other throughout high school because I did competitive cheer and he did football. So we were connected always.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That's an incredible story. I always love to hear, I think the Conejo Valley as being the sort of outsider. I just am always so impressed how many people who grew up here just love the area and either, maybe moved away for a short time and came back or have stayed there their whole lives. So was that something that you both imagined to do back then, that you would, stay in Thousand Oaks?
Not at all. I always thought I'd leave, and I did leave for 5 years. I moved to Mammoth at 19, lived there for 5 years, and then realized can't be a ski bum my whole life. So came back and got a real job, and yeah, stayed here. But yeah, my whole family has left. My parents live in Bend, Oregon. twin brother lives in Arizona and sister in Boston. So I'm the
Mhm.
last one here, but you really just can't beat Thousand Oaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. What about you, Carly?
Um, I think I always want to stay close to my family, so the idea of being here long term was always an option for me, but I wanted to travel, so I did travel at like 19 to 22. I moved to New Zealand and got to travel to India and Fiji, yeah, all over the world for a couple of years. So that was my getaway. And then being away and coming back, it made me realize just how much I love it, and how lucky we are to be here. Yeah.
So special. Okay, so you had these, you went to study intercultural studies. What did you do when you got out of school with that?
Yeah. What did I do? I actually became an artist at Trader Joe's for 6 years. So all the hand lettering, big displays. I was at the Thousand Oaks and the Westlake store for quite a while. And
Can you
then,
talk a little bit about that? You had shared with me before. I forgot. So
yeah,
each Trader Joe's location had a local artist who was designing their signage.
yeah, every
It just blows my
store.
mind for some reason. Like, I think of it as this huge chain, but the fact that they were hiring local just is really cool.
Yeah, it's such a cool job. It was, yeah, pretty special to land it because there's only 1 to 2 artists per store, and typically when you're an artist there, they stay a long time because it's a great job and it's a really unique job. So, yeah, I was able to work at the Thousand Oaks store for 6 years, and they have a corporate team that does kind of the bigger art, but yeah, everything was local for me at the store. So like big murals and displays and all the fun stuff. Um, yeah, and then I guess the community aspect, I was part of a church at the time, so I started this thing called Laundry Love, and
Mm.
we were giving laundry services in the month to people who couldn't afford it. So at the local laundromat next to Trader Joe's. So I would work and then have a whole community that came to the laundromat, and that started we did that for 5 years, I think. Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow. Oh my goodness. Is that still going on, Laundry Love?
We passed it on to another group because slowly over time I couldn't keep it going myself, but handed it off. It still is going, but I don't think to the scale that we had it.
Okay.
But yeah.
What about you, Zach? You had ideas of being a firefighter. You then mentioned you became a ski bum for a little bit. Where you find yourself now in terms of your career?
Well, yeah. So I always loved riding bikes since growing up. Rode with my dad growing up, and then I went to Mammoth just for the winter, but really stayed for the summer. Right? You can do so much there in the summer, riding bikes on the mountain, being outside, and just fell in love with it. So when I came back to Thousand Oaks, I wanted to get in to the bike industry and got very lucky. Saw an ad on Facebook and started here at Worldwide Cyclery. Um, and just have worked my way up and still here and still riding bikes and just supporting people having fun on bikes is my main goal every day.
And that's a Newbury Park, like local based business.
It is. It's e-commerce. We do have a small storefront for like local guys coming in to get their bike work done. But
Mhm.
when you come in here, you'll just see a bunch of computers and um, yeah.
Really cool. Okay, so I love this. And then you both had this background in athletics, football player, skier, bike rider, plus cheerleading, professional cheerleading. Have you always been runners as well?
No.
No.
Okay. So when did that hobby or passion start?
I started running 4 years ago now, and but even actually before that, I didn't never ran. Like hated it. Thought I could never do it. And I wanted to change and get healthy. I was always active and adventurous, but I never really put fitness as a priority. So I started weightlifting in my home, doing like YouTube videos. And then I moved up to joining a gym and really fell in love with weightlifting and the progress of it and the change in my body. And then pushed myself to run 1 mile. walked halfway through, and then the next day ran another mile. And then my friend asked me to sign up for a half marathon. And so I think I trained for 2 months and ran that. And then I just became hooked with the whole process and set my next goal to run a full marathon about 3 months later. So
Wow,
it
you
was
go from
quick.
walking half of 1 mile to, like, running a
Yeah.
marathon in a matter of 6 months or around that time. That's very impressive. I feel like you sound like a very goal-oriented person. I think anybody who's doing those marathons, they, like, stick to it, they, like, need to have that kind of idea in mind when they're training for something. It's, like, not something I've ever desired, but I always admire people who are willing to do that, and you still run marathons to this day, right?
I do. I've been
Okay.
11 half marathons right now, but Zach and I have a full marathon in October, the Chicago Marathon. So we're actually fundraising for a charity for Ronald McDonald House, and we're going to run 26.2 miles in October, but
Um,
training starts this next month.
okay. Wow, already for
Yeah.
October, okay.
Mhm.
And then, Zach, did you start running around the same time Carly did?
No, I've started running when I met Carly, probably, or
Okay.
like reconnected with Carly. She ran, and I'm very competitive myself. And I think I probably was running 10 to 11-minute miles, and now I'm probably down to 8-minute miles. Um, Done half, did a 50K, which is 30 miles in Big Bear.
Wow.
Do trail halves with her now. Obviously, she's about an hour faster than me, but yeah. But
That's
yeah, I just
acceptable.
started running because it's a great way to be with each other, right? It's fun doing the same hobby together, and yeah.
So this being a relatively new hobby, at what point did you think, well, we're the right people to start a local run club?
Hmm. I I think it was a year and a half in to running and fitness and stuff, and maybe it was 2 years. And 2 years I ran 4 marathons, so it was quite a lot of time spent alone, like just hours of training alone and going out for long runs. And so I think I started to get questions. I would post a little bit on social media from people wanting to know like what routes I did or how I progressed so quickly into running. And my thought was like, well, I don't really have a community around it myself. And I'm kind of tired of being alone through all these training times. So why don't I open it up and see if people would like to join? And my thought was literally one run. Like maybe I'll just post a run or a few and see who wants to join. And I put a poll out on um, a social media story and got 30 yeses. So I was like, that's a run club.
And
um,
had you already named it as a run club, or were you doing this on like your personal
I
Instagram?
At the time that was just my personal, and
Okay.
then I think Zach and I were home one night. I had a glass of wine, and I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start an Instagram page for it, and put it together, posted it, and then yeah, we got a ton of signups right off the bat. I think 22 people showed up for the first one, and then
Really?
um, by the third one we had 45 people. So it just really exploded. Yeah.
What do you think people why do you think people are finding the club, and what do you hope that it's like bringing these people that are coming there?
Yeah, I think the hardest thing about the run club is showing up for your first time. I remember when Carly and I started it, we were so nervous showing up. Um, and I think people want community, people want to be motivated to run, and there's no better way to be motivated to run than doing it with other people around you. Um, and it's a healthy habit.
So tell us how it
Uh,
works, because I agree. I remember the first time I showed up, and it was a little intimidating. Carly was kind enough to say hi to everybody when we got
yeah.
there, so it sort of made it feel a little bit more comfortable. I also would say you had advertised it as being like all paces welcome, and it was a short enough distance that made it feel kind of approachable. So was that by design? Like, how does it work for somebody who maybe hasn't joined the Run Club but is feeling like they're interested, but also a little bit scared too?
Yeah, the whole like we thought through it at the beginning 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago now, of like where do we regularly host it? where people feel comfortable coming. And that's why we chose Tarantula Hill Brewery, because it's the staple of the community. People are comfortable there. They go there on the weekends. They bring their friends, and you can grab a drink or food after, and it's relaxed. And it's less intimidating off the bat. So that's why that's like our staple home base. So we meet outside Tarantula Hill Brewery at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and then give it, 10, 15 minutes of mingling. Then we start the run, and there's a 3, 4, or 5 mile option, open to all paces. Some people will walk, and some people will move fast. And then there's a break for the 3 miles. They can take a breather and then head back. And then, we all head back to Tarantula and hang out, get to know each other.
It's a really nice, and I feel like people actually do hang out, which is also kind of nice, that like there seems to be a group of people who want not just the healthy exercise, but the connection with others. Are you finding that it's more than just the running, but also a desire to meet people in the area?
Yeah.
I mean, I've met some of my new best friends from this run club. I mean, we probably hang out every weekend now, which is crazy. Like, yeah, growing up, especially being in Thousand Oaks, you stick to the same group of people, right? And I just feel like we have both just hung out with a different group, and we actually just did a 70-mile bike race last weekend together. And I met Madison at the run club, which is just really cool. People have dated at the run club. I think a lot of people just have found new friends.
Yeah, I feel like there was a trend for a little bit. I don't know if you're still seeing that, where it was, promoted instead of being on the dating apps, find your local run club. Is that you
Yeah.
sort of seemed like you guys were at the forefront of the trend, not necessarily from the dating side, but of creating these run clubs. Have you noticed that there's been an uptick? And, also, I guess second part of that question is, when I was there were people from Ventura, from all over, not just, just the Conejo Valley. Are you finding that as well?
Yeah, I think, well, originally I had been a part of a run club that started in Ventura called Rolling Cerros. And I was like one of the first people to ever run when they started the club. And now they're like massive, hundreds of people. Um, and, it's a city out there. So I feel like there's a good crowd that loves that community. And so I was inspired by that too, of like, there's a hole here in Thousand Oaks. I don't know where to find what I was looking for here. And I think a lot of people feel that same way, of like, even if they're not into running necessarily, they're able to like use it as a space to meet people. So I'd say it's like, I don't know, 50-50. Some people come just for the community, and some people come to like just get the workout in. But overall, it builds connection for everyone. And it's also built like great connection with the local businesses and all the like Sports Academy and
Yeah,
Lululemon and
talk a little bit
Tarantula.
about that. Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
kind of collaborations you've coordinated. How did those come about? And maybe explain one, like the Sports Academy, how you guys work with them.
Yeah, it actually started with Zach's company, Worldwide Cyclery. Um, they built the connection first because they would help fix up and do bike kind of exchanges with
Yeah.
the owner. And so they built like a ongoing kind of trade, organic relationship. And then I got to know Lauren, one of the managers there, and she joined the run club from the beginning and just loved it. And so for like a year, we were like, we got to collab, we got to do something. And then we finally did. And it's been an awesome way to get people to see Sports Academy and what they do for the community. And they offer recovery center access just for our club, like Normatec boots and sauna and ice bath, things that I don't think anyone or most people in our club would ever experience or have access to. It's been really, yeah, really thankful for them to open that up to us.
Yeah. Well, it was through the Run Club that I met Lauren, and through you that I ended up getting Sports Academy Bo Daniels on the podcast. So those were, again, way back early days. But, not intentionally trying to network, but like you just, people are there and local and having fun, and you kind of are able to make really interesting connections through it as well.
Yeah.
So I know you also do like themed runs. It sounds like you've just kind of expanded outside of your Wednesday run. What's that been like? And do you see that as part of the broader vision of continuing to like do different style runs and more kind of like maybe marathon training, that type of thing?
Mm.
I would say the Wednesday run is definitely a more casual space, right? Where all paces come and run. And then when was it Mountains to Beach or the Santa Barbara half, we get the club to sign up. Then we start doing like Saturday or Sunday Westlake Lake laps. And that's when I'd say really the training style comes out and like more serious people come to play and do I mean each lap around the lake is what 5 miles, so people do 1, 2, or 3 and yeah, so kind of Wednesdays the hangout, have fun, run your own pace, and then probably twice a month we'll do a Saturday or Sunday run around the lake, and that's kind of like expanding into the racing side of things.
Hmm. And we like to promote local races. So, like Zach said, it's Santa Barbara Half. We do it every year. Mountains to Beach and Ojai to Ventura. We're doing the Love Run. Some of us just did the Agoura Great Race. It's
Mm.
a trail and road run. Some people do the LA Marathon, the Ventura Marathon. We have quite a few, and then I reach out to the directors and typically get a discount code or like a club group um, discount going. So it's just a way to push people to do something they've never done before, and be motivated by a whole group doing it. And
Yeah.
that's been a great, like really successful for our club. And we'll integrate trail running. We did it way more at the beginning. We're doing trail runs almost every weekend, but time, jobs, have to permit. So we've kind of slowed it down on the weekends, but we do love integrating more options for people. Yeah.
Let's talk about your branding, because I know, Carly, obviously you were a designer and you work in marketing now. One of the things that probably drew me to the club when I saw it on social media more than the actual running part was like how, I don't know, aesthetically pleasing your branding was. And you do such a really nice job of like having an aesthetic to it. That on purpose? Is that something you kind of take joy creating?
Yeah, for sure. I was like, if I'm going to make it stick, I've got to make it have a look and a logo and a feel and a vibe. And the social media, it's, if you look, it's just all people running outside, and
Yeah.
that's all the photos. And I think people love to see themselves on social media, even if they slightly hate it because they're like, I they don't know if they like the photo of themselves, but I do think they enjoy seeing themselves out there, and it encourages people to come because they're like, oh, other people are doing it and they're enjoying it. And that was my goal, was like, and really, I think I said the first run club we ever did was like, this is your club. Like, I'm facilitating, but really it's up to you guys of what you want to make of it and who you invite and how it grows. So that was my vision for the look of it. Um, but yeah, I'm in marketing and marketing manager for JRP Design and Remodel. You interviewed them, so they'll be up
Yes.
on your podcast soon, my owners.
This week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll be listening to this after, but yes, they will be up on the
Yeah.
podcast.
But that is my marketing background of just how to bring community together and make it last, through digital footprint.
Yeah. So is that, do you think the key? Well, there's two thoughts I have. One is this idea, and I feel similar in this, and I think a lot of people do when they're starting something, is wanting to see the thing that they want out in the world. And you kind of touched on that a little bit. Like you were training, you wanted to like not do it on your own, and you're trying to find something that like provided that. And then you found that a community responded to that, right? Like there was other people who equally wanted to be a part of something, which I think is so cool. I don't know if that rings true, this idea that like you wanted it, and then it was nice to see that there was a response to it. And then the other comment, I forget the other question I was just going to say, that was on top of that, just like the idea of community. Oh, so keeping it going as it seems like it's continuing to grow. What do you think the key to that is? Is it the digital footprint you mentioned, like constantly like sharing pictures of people who are there? Is there something that you think to keep, 2 years in, the energy up, the like membership growing? What's critical to do that?
Hmm.
I just think people having fun, getting out on a Wednesday, and it's something to do midweek to take a break from life and to have fun. I think that's really what keeps it going. Because we have slowed down. We got married last year, um,
Congratulations.
and we did slow down on the posting and the marketing side of things, and it's still just gross because I think people just want to be out and having fun and be
Yeah.
motivated.
Has it made you love running more or less?
Mm. No, more for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely more.
Yeah. I
I don't know,
think,
maybe it feels kind of like a job because you're having to do it coordinate this every week, or it's
um,
just even shows more why running is an amazing sport, if you will, that just brings people together.
yeah, I think it's like, and it's like working out. Like you never love to do it every day sometimes, like, but you love it. And it's like, it's such a core part of your life and your habits and your goals, like where you want to be. And so I sometimes I see it that way, like life is hard no matter what, and there's ups and downs of like things get busy, and I don't, yeah, I wish sometimes it just ran itself at times, but i I'm every day thankful for it. Like I don't really know what I did to deserve the community that came from it. And so like I didn't do a lot. Someone on the outside would think like she's done a ton, which maybe I have in some capacity, and at the same time I feel like I've done so minimal to get the response and the camaraderie around it, and just genuinely good people to show up and want to be there. Um, yeah, I think it definitely has made both Zach and I love running, and really him love running too, which has
Yeah.
benefited our relationship because it's something we just really enjoy doing together. And life is hard and all that stuff, but then we had it on the trails, and it's like the moment of peace that we can get together. So I will always be thankful for that.
Yeah, I think people think like we motivate them, but at the same time, they motivate us to go also, right?
Yeah.
Like it's hard. It's hard showing up and going, and they are motivating us to run farther, run faster, run more. So, yeah.
What are you most proud of with the club?
Mm. Mm. I think I think I think I love seeing other people make connections, like stepping back and seeing all the friend groups grow and how they're hanging out even outside of the run club, or they've found someone that they love and they're with. Like it's just so cool to be a part of their future in some way. Like we're just a little piece of it, but all these connections are growing in ways that I don't even totally see or know. And I think really that's like something so dear to my heart that I love about community, whether it was the laundry love thing in the past or this now, like, or where we head in the future, Zach and I. That is what I love bringing, is like seeing the fruit of people coming together and doing something good for themselves and for others.
For myself, like I'm a little different than Carly. I feel like I'm like the fun guy of the run club, right? Where she's like the boss. Um, I love it when I see a person come to run club and they're not fast. They've never really ran before, and 6 months later, they are crushing a half marathon.
Yeah.
Like that, they set a goal and they do that, and it's amazing. It's amazing to watch and see people just get faster over time because it doesn't happen overnight. It takes
Hmm.
a long time, but consistency is amazing to watch.
Yeah. And people get so confident.
So confident.
Like they come in so nervous, and then by the end, they're like, yeah, we have a guy who was running, and he was fast, but never set like big lofty race goals. And now he qualified twice for the Boston Marathon, and he ran it on Monday. And yeah, like he kept coming up just like I would have never done this without you. And he took his whole family out to Boston, and like, yeah, I just think that's so cool.
I love
Mhm.
that. It feels satisfying. And like you said, it's like you're not the one, you're facilitating it. You know, you're not making anybody do it, but the fact that
Yeah.
your guys' energy, the fact that you're there every week. I mean, talk about consistency. Like that's hard. And like to be there, you know, every week and continuing to motivate people to do the same is really incredible. What do you see for the vision of the run club?
Hmm. I see. Well, in practical scale, I'd love to get more merch and branding going. Um, Something I just need to put a little extra time into. I'd love to see more of the community connections, like see where we could take it with Sports Academy, and now I'm an ambassador for Lululemon. So they want to do some races or sorry, not races, but like events, and maybe plan a larger race or some type of event would be my this year or next year goal. And get other local businesses to sponsor and be a part of it. um, yeah, I'd love to just see it grow. And yeah, what about you, Zach?
Um, I just want to just keep doing what we're doing. I'm having fun doing what we're doing, and I would like to get more because Carly and I did the Boney Half, and that's SoCal trails. I would love to get more trail running involved. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. We're not trying to scale a business. I don't think quite yet. Like, profit off the run club. Um, just see it grow by more people outside running.
Yeah, maybe make it a little more sustainable. I'd love to
Hmm.
get a website going and put a donation drop so then we could put the money back into the club, fund more of the merch, or fund more, like if someone can't afford a race, maybe we can sponsor a race for people, or um, clothing if someone can't buy shoes, like be able to, yeah, that would be one way to make it more of like a built community and have some type of like money that we can pull from that benefits. So that would be a
Cool.
goal.
Ooh, I like this. I can see it happening. I can see that event happening this year too. And I want to be a part of it. I'm going to get back running. I think I got scared a little bit too when it got dark that first year I was running, when it went from like summer to fall. And I was like, oh, nobody else is going to want to run during the dark. And then I was the only person I think who stopped. Everybody's got their headlamps on running. It felt like even more people were probably out there. So I was just the wimp. So I have to figure out. And I know, I mean, I've seen people run with strollers, with their dogs. Like you guys are open to everybody. So maybe my kids will soon be at the age where they will try some
I
running.
also
Yeah.
thought the run club was gonna die in the winter,
He kept
and I
saying
was
that. He's
I
like,
kept
no
on.
one's
I
going to
was
show
negative
up,
about it.
Carly.
No,
No
I
one's gonna
thought,
show up, and it's amazing how many people show up with their headlamps and run at night. And I wouldn't do it alone, so
right.
it keeps everyone going in the winter, and then everyone's excited once that sun comes out.
Yeah, it gets big in the summer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I have a couple rapid fire questions for you.
Sure.
First one is, do you have a favorite run or trail in the Conejo Valley?
Ooh, yeah.
That's
The
fun.
Brookview Trail. Well, you can get
Hmm.
it from two ways: from outside of our home, which we
Okay.
love, Los Robles Trailhead. You can head up and it takes you all the way to the top of like Triumpho Park in Westlake. And then you can run down it as well. But really, that it's called the Brookview Trail, and there's a bench at the top, and that's where Zach proposed to me. So
Oh
that's
my
our favorite
gosh.
spot. And we planted
Oh.
Yeah.
flowers for his grandma who passed away. So that's our go to trail. But anything along that ridge line, we are there throughout the whole week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the exact same thing as Carly. So, yeah, we're on the same page with that. It's just you can make any loop you want out of it, and
Mhm.
then you have a hard day, and then Carly and I go up there and just spend time together, and it's just amazing.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. How special, and look
Hmm.
for the flowers. That's so sweet. I love that.
Yep.
Okay, what's your favorite thing to do in the Conejo Valley, maybe outside of running?
Hmm. Eat. Eat.
At restaurants?
Yeah. Oh, we've been loving La Poblana, Mexican
Oh,
food.
I don't know it. Where's that?
Moore Park Road. It's like
Yeah.
behind 7-Eleven, but they actually are the owners of that food truck right by Tarantula.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
Yeah.
that like white food truck where they have the Christmas tree farm? They actually
Okay.
have a restaurant too down the street, and someone from Run Club recommended it,
Yeah.
and I think we go there once or twice a week now.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to check
So,
that out.
They're
I love a new
affordable and
Mexican
they got
spot.
some killer burritos.
killer
Okay.
burritos.
Yeah. What else do
Yeah.
you like, honey?
Well,
Or to
I feel like
do?
our life is work, running, and I love riding bikes.
Yeah.
So that really is our life,
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
and
this is a
hanging out
great
with
place to
friends.
Hanging
do
out with
that.
friends,
Yeah.
hanging out with family, going to Tarantula Hill with friends and family. Kind of
Hmm.
like all in the same circle, but we only have a certain amount of time in the day. So that's how we fill it. Yeah.
I love it.
Hmm.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so last question for you guys. What would be a piece of advice if somebody is wanting to, maybe start their own type of club or community building or even their own, business? Do you have any tips or insights of how to just get started?
Hmm.
Just do it.
Yeah. Just.
Yeah, you just have to start doing it. Because Carly wanted to do this run club. She talked about it for about a year that she wanted to start a run club, and she finally just did it,
Mm-hmm.
and it happened.
Yeah.
So you just have to do it one day and see how it goes, and not be scared of failure.
Yeah. Put it out
Mhm.
there. Start an Instagram. Put it on Google Business page. People find us from Google Business because I put
Yeah,
our location next to Tarantula Hill, so they see it
interesting.
there. I guess I'm speaking more on the practical side. Is Instagram, get a vibe, post a place, and when you start, make sure you go up and introduce yourself to every single person that arrives and make them feel like they are welcome there. And that I did that for like a year. I met
You still
every
do
person
that.
that showed up and shook their hand and knew their name. Now it's a little harder because it's gotten so big and so many people, and so I've lost track of the same intentionality, but I do my absolute best to like I see somebody new and I go up to them and I'm like, "Welcome." So that I think has kept people around.
Yeah. That made a huge difference for me personally when I went. So, and look at us, we're still able to be
Yeah.
friends and like continue to be in each other's lives. And I think like that connection also, more importantly, made me feel comfortable about coming back, which was huge. The other thing that I was going to say, and I think you still do this, is taking a picture after every run, which I
Mm-hmm.
thought was such a smart marketing move of like the whole group. And you can kind of see over time, maybe for your own selves, to be able to see how it's grown over time and how the picture had to, go wide instead of portrait, just because those people grew and how
Mm-hmm.
many people were there, which is really like fun to see and witness from as an outsider too for you guys.
No, that's true. Yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah,
That's what we try to do. Track it, and people get to see themselves throughout the year.
yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Well, congratulations on what you've created so far and the community that you've built in your own community, which I think is amazing that you're doing something again like that you wanted to see and that other people have really responded to and continue to be there and grow. And I can't wait to see what's coming next for you guys. So congratulations, and I hope to see you out on the trail soon.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Appreciate
Of
it. Thank
course.
you for
Yeah.
bringing us on. We love it.
Thank you for listening to Conejo Valley Visionaries. If you like today's episode, make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And don't forget to rate and review us. That's the best way to support the podcast. To enter our giveaways, learn about local events, and to find out more about each guest, follow at Conejo Valley Visionaries on Instagram. If you want to share your visionary story on the podcast, send us an email. We are always open to guest nominations. Email ConejoValleyVisionaries@gmail.com. This episode was produced by Cristina Dennstedt and Justin K. Sloan. Conejo Valley Visionaries is edited by Justin K. Sloan and J. Sloan Productions.